Good morning, everybody. I want to make sure you can hear me okay. Yes? Okay. Welcome to HomeFit. My name is Karen Caffanteris. I am the Associate State Director for Livable Communities and Community Service for AARP here in Michigan. I have with me today Dr. Deborah Lindstrom Hazel. Deborah is an occupational therapist, professor at Western Michigan University. She also is a volunteer for AARP. She is our executive council member for Livable Communities. That means that I get to work with her very closely on a regular basis. At every event that I do, I start out talking about AARP just a little bit because there's a lot of misconceptions about AARP and what we do. A lot of people, you say AARP and they think that we're an insurance company. And we're not. We don't sell insurance. We do have a lot of products and services that we work with other companies to provide at a discount or the correct product for our members. But we ourselves are not an insurance company. Other people think that we are the 800-pound gorilla advocacy group in Washington, and we do advocacy. We do it in Washington. We do it at the federal, state, and local level here in Michigan, too. But that's only a small part of what we do at the state office in Michigan. We do a lot of other things. I work in the areas of livable communities, meaning I work mainly in housing and transportation. So this would fall under the housing part of my job. And I also work in the area of community service. So I work with our community service programs. You may have heard of TaxAid, which is our free tax preparation for low and moderate income individuals 60 plus. And I work with our driver safety program, which is an 8-hour in-class refresher course that gives lots of tips and updates on current laws. Back to, we also do economic security and work. Economic security, you might recognize Social Security as economic security, so preservation of Social Security. And under the work portfolio, probably the best example is helping people who are over 50 out of work figure out how to retool so they can get back into the workforce. We also do work in the area of health and supportive services, so caregiving, long-term care, Medicare, Medicaid type things. So we do programs like HomeFit, and we do under all those areas, and we also do some legislation under those types of areas. If we see that there's legislation that needs to be worked on, and it's under the area that we work under, and it's good for our members, we might take up that legislation. But back to what we're here for today. We are here to talk about HomeFit, and why develop a program like HomeFit? HomeFit was developed because people like you have told us they want to remain in their own homes as they age. They don't want to have to sell their home and move to a ranch-style house or build a home that's accessible. They don't want to go to an independent living facility or assisted living facility, and heaven forbid, they don't want to go to a nursing home. So our goal is to help keep you in your own home where you want to be. And this program helps give you the tools of figuring out how to do that. So we have three purposes of HomeFit. The first is to get you to begin thinking about what you can do in your current home to allow you to safely stay in that home. So all the things we're going to talk about today cost some money. Some just a little bit of money, and some more money. But we want you to think about it as an investment in your future, an investment in your quality of life. If you have to go to an independent living, an assisted living, or a nursing home, because your home is not accessible for you and you cannot manage to stay there, Independent living is about $2,000 a month minimum. Nursing homes are, a minimum of $4,000 a month. So you're really making an investment in your future. The second thing we want second purpose is to help you determine what is important to you. So there's certain things that you have to be able to do to stay in your own home. You have to be able to get in the home. You need to be able to bathe or go to the bathroom. You need to be able to eat, and you need to be able to sleep. But what about the things that are important to you outside of those? So is cooking important to you? Do you enjoy yard work? Do you like to do woodworking or surf the computer? Those things, we want you to start thinking about things that are important to you that help make you have a quality of life. The third purpose is to help you identify the consultants that you may need to help you do those things to keep you in your home. So a certified aging in place specialist called CAP specialist is a professional who is trained to help someone remain in their home safely, independently, and comfortably. The training is conducted by the National Home Builders Association. An occupational therapist is a person who's trained to help people live their lives to the fullest. And that often means trying to help them figure out how to stay in their own homes. A remodeler is someone who can help you figure out how to change areas of your home that you want to be able to change. An architect is a professional that you consult for structural questions about whether or not the changes that you want to or need to make to your home are appropriate. And a landscape architect is a specialist who helps in the planning and design of the landscaping of your home. And you'll see why we have that person down there in a little bit later in the program. And a builder, of course, helps build homes and things like that, or add additions to your home. Okay, so an overview of the program. Safe and easy to use is one of the keys. Everything that we're going to suggest helps you be as safe as possible, and they're as easy to use as possible. So we're going to look at the entrances, the bathrooms, and all the living areas of your home. The worksheet is going to help you identify the areas that work as they are in your home, what things can be changed with minor costs, what things can be changed with a lot more cost, simple devices that can assist you, and we want you to be able to take it home with you and use it as a reference for your personal use. So if you down the road think, okay, I want to do some of those things, I need to do some of those things that they talked about at the HomeFit program, you'll have that here. You'll have the information that you can take with you to go talk to that builder, remodeler, architect. So we want you to keep that with you after the event. Okay, there's a couple of terms that you need to know, and most of them are interchangeable, which is why we bring them up. People use them, they aren't necessarily exactly mean the same thing, but people use them interchangeably all the time. Universal design. Universal design is an approach to designing products and environments to be appropriate for all people, including the physical, cognitive, and sensory impaired individuals. Visitability is another word that is often used interchangeably with universal design. It refers to homes that have a few basic features that are universally designed or accessible for people, such as at least one entrance that is a no-step or zero-step entrance, a bathroom, at least a half bath on the first floor that is accessible, has wide enough doors and enough turning radius for a wheelchair. Zero-step and no-step are two terms that refer to the entrance to your home having no steps up to your home, called making accessible, or to the critical areas of your home, like your bathroom, your kitchen, or your laundry facility area. And livability is a universally designed, easy to use features of your home. And livable, designed for a lifetime is also considered interchanged with livability. So at this point, we're going to turn this over to the program over to Dr. Deborah Winston Hazel. She likes to be called Deb.
We need to get into our homes. Wherever we live, we have to be able to get in. And so we can make entrances that we can get in even if we have some mobility limitations. And so this is a picture of a home that has a zero-step entrance. But you can see it's a very nice looking home. It doesn't look industrial. And we'll do a close-up now of the entrance. So you can see it still looks very nice. Now, if you look at your worksheet under entrances, you can see that there are several different areas that you're going to want to keep track of for what you have. Think about the number of steps and then how high the threshold is, your doors, porches, lighting, and your handrails. So at this point, you want to just keep those things in mind, and we're going to go through them one by one. If you do have steps and you decide that you need an alternative for those steps because you're having issues with mobility, we have 3 ways that we're going to talk to you about changing to a zero-step entrance. And I'll go through each of those individually. This is a home, very common ranch home, that does have 10 inches to go from the ground up to the door. And so there is a way in this particular home, because there are no basement windows in the front, so there is a way that we could landscape that to a no-step entrance. So we'll show that. And you can see those 10 inches need to be taken care of by about 10 feet. Our ratio is we have to have 1 foot for every inch we change. So if you have 10 inches, you need 10 feet to go between to get a rise that is easy to go in a wheelchair by yourself. But you can see this is a very nicely landscaped entrance that looks very attractive and doesn't look handicapped. Another option would be to put a ramp in, and sometimes the ramps go in the front. This is an 8-foot ramp for an 8-inch rise from the ground up to the house. So you can see 8 inches doesn't sound that much, but you would need a longer ramp than what we might expect for just 8 inches. This particular ramp has handrails going on both sides, and the ramps can be in the front of the home, but they can also be in a garage so that they wouldn't be shown. This picture shows a ramp that goes up to the front of the house, and in this particular situation, the homeowners decided that they wanted the ramp, and they put that in half of the stairwell, and then they had the steps still going on the other half, and the one railing for the ramp acts as a handrail for both the steps and the ramp. So that works as it's what worked for them in their particular situation. Now, the handrails are important. Anytime you have steps, it's good to have handrails on both sides, but you also want to be sure when you're going up a ramp that you have a space that you can maneuver around if you are in a wheelchair or a walker so that you can get out of the way of the door. So you may have to look at how the door opens up. Some people will actually take out their storm doors if they're using a wheelchair because the storm doors can get in the way. And we always need to be sure that we have good lighting when we are going in and out of our home. We also want to be sure that we have our house numbers well lit so that people can see where we are located. The last alternative that we're going to talk about is an outdoor mechanical lift. And this may seem like overkill. They aren't nearly as expensive as I had expected. This particular outdoor lift can be put on a side or back entrance. You probably wouldn't want this on your front entrance, but it can lift up to a deck or a back porch. And this particular model runs less than $4,000, but then you would have to pay the installation costs. This one has a hand crank so that if the power goes out, someone could help you go up or down. And it also has a cold weather package. In some areas, you would need it would need to be covered, and so you would have to check local regulations for that. But as Karen gave us the fees for nursing homes and assisted living, you can see that this could be less than 2 months of a nursing home, being able to put that on, if that is the main issue that would keep you from being able to stay in your home. Now that's a shorter lift, but then they do have the higher ones, so that if someone needs to get up to the second floor, this particular lift is less than $5,000 plus installation, and that would allow someone to stay in their home if that was the issue that was really limiting them. So you would probably definitely want this on a back or a side entrance, but it is another option for us. Now, the question is, do all of our homes have entrances that we could make modifications on? And so sometimes we look at the home and we would call some consultants in. We may call a certified aging in place specialist. We may talk to a landscape architect. And it doesn't seem like anything is really going to work because there doesn't have a back approach, may not have enough yard to put in a ramp. It may be very steep. So these are the situations, if you look at your home and don't find an easy solution, this is one of the times when you may need to call in a consultant. You may need to talk with a certified aging in place specialist who may be able to help you see some different alternatives. You may need to contact an occupational therapist who may be able to teach you some techniques or give you some devices and teach you how to use those so that you could manage the most accessible way that could be made on your home. If you need to consult a certified aging in place specialist, there is a website that you can go to, and all that information is in your HomeFit guide. How to find the certified aging in place specialist, as well as how to find an occupational therapist. But sometimes the structure